Reese?
Hello, everybody. I guess my stream froze. That's cool. There we go. Okay. Hey, everybody. It's Team Gap Esports here, and I am Wookie, and today I'm joined by Primus, and we're gonna have a nice silver best of three today. How you doing, Primus?
Doing good. Just got some hibachi with my best friend for his birthday, so I am very nourished and ready for a three-game series. Uh, hopefully, we've
Hopefully.
been seeing a lot of 2-0s, so we'll see what happens. But no, I'm feeling
Yeah.
great. I love these teams. I mean, so far we've seen every team get casted, so we're further in the split. It's week 5, so we're familiar with a lot of the plays and the players. So a lot. I'm hoping the teams bring some more ammunition out. So maybe see some new stuff.
Okay.
Getting close to playoffs. I mean, they might be practicing some stuff for that. Especially
That's
since I
true.
believe Purple is almost locked playoffs. Because I think they're in second place. I think they've locked playoffs. I
I
feel,
believe
or it
so.
might be after this week, but because it's top 6 going. But yeah,
Yeah, top
so
six.
yeah, and
For
then so I
sure.
think this is Brown just trying to fight for playoffs now.
Yep.
So
Purple is
let's see
is
if
a very, I think, second place or third,
yeah,
second or third, more than likely.
I think they have 8 points,
Something like
and
that.
then
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a very big discrepancy between brown and purple right now. But like you
just a
they're
bit.
fighting. They're fighting for their spot in the playoffs, top 6, and they've already started draft. And they've gone ahead. Brown has banned out Kale and Ash. Meanwhile, purple has banned out Echo first. These are some, I think, target bans. Ryleon has been playing a lot of Ash in his OPGG lately. Has actually climbed to gold 4 with that. So,
Yeah, he was
uh,
telling us about it last week,
mhm.
or on Monday. So they just don't want to see it, Ryline doesn't typically have a big champion pool. I mean, obviously it's a lot harder when you're 80 carry. Usually, only like 4 good ones in the meta. Ash being one of them currently. So just not going to deal with that. And at least they didn't target ban him. They're looks like they kind of mixed their bans around. No
Yeah.
one was really targeted. Although
Okay.
it's probably
So
a Trundle jungle ban. I'm assuming. I'm pretty sure
it's I think we've
Brown
seen
plays that.
Noble on Trundle as well in the top side. So just to so that you all know, Brown has changed up their roster slightly in the roles department. It's now same Noble top, Rich and Smart jungle. Hammered
Hmm.
is now mid.
Right.
Spare is ADC, and Daddy Pacific is now support from ADC. So the bot lane has switched up, and then Hammered has gone mid.
Yeah,
So definitely,
this is not the first time they've done it too. I believe this isn't the first time that Hammered has played mid lane. I believe
yeah,
they played mid lane against us and beat us. So maybe maybe that's the way to go. I mean,
maybe. Meanwhile,
they
though,
they beat the
on
first place team.
that's true. Meanwhile, on purple side, we have their standard roster that they have currently. It's going to be Manny up in the top side, Laser Sniped in jungle, Volps in the mid lane, Ryleon, our favorite caster, in the ADC, and Mustard Cat on support. And it looks like purple have opted to go for the Caitlyn Malphite. I think that actually is a good response to the Yasuo right there, at least the Malphite. Taking that
yeah,
away from Noble, possibly.
yeah. Ryan loves his Caitlyn, so that doesn't surprise me. Um, Putting Manny on slow top laner, it's gonna be interesting. Not going to be playing much of a key role in this outside of engages, and
Yeah.
being a beefcake. But
Wow.
it looks like their answer with I mean, typically I've been seeing Tom Kinch in the top lane lately. That could be an answer to the Malphite. So obviously if you
I'm
pick like
wondering.
a heavy AD champion into Malphite, it's not going to work. Oh
That's
six.
either a Yasuo top or a Yasuo ADC. Because they picked Oriana, that she can only really go mid. So I'm wondering if Noble or possibly even Spare is taking that.
Yeah, I was thinking the Tom Kinch was top hoping for a Yasuo ADC, but that's just wishful thinking.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah, I
you'll
mean,
pick
he
Yumi.
can still play support, but
That's true.
yeah, I mean, that's Mustard Cat's most like his like most played
Yeah,
support. Like, I mean, he's
she's
got cat in
really
his name.
I think Mustard Cat has had her Yumi banned out for the past, maybe actually for the whole season. I think this might
Right.
be the first or second time we're seeing this. So
Well,
excited to see
I feel
that
like
one.
she always gets it banned, so like
Yeah, exactly. Like
this might be
it's
the
just
first time.
it's
We
always a
banned it every
first or
time,
second.
if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
I don't remember the last time I casted purple, but
Yeah,
and
definitely
then
a
Nocturne,
very
scary in the
yeah,
jungle. It's probably my
for
least
sure.
favorite jungler to play against.
What's interesting is like Brown. I think this is a completely different lineup than what we've seen in the
Hmm.
past. I mean, just these champion choices right here speak to me that like maybe these changes on the roster could actually work out quite well for them.
Right.
I mean, there's synergy between Yasuo, Orianna, and Tom Kench altogether. So definitely haven't really seen that combo in the past. And now they're just banning out Nocturne and Graves junglers, trying to pin down Laser Sniped, make him pick something he's not familiar with. I mean, Nocturne being probably one of his best champions. So I feel like Purple are they're chugging along in this draft. I don't know where they might be going. We'll see what they pick here, as Brown has a strong three-man.
Yeah, I mean it's tough
pick
for
so
them
far.
just because Brown switched around so much that they're probably not like playing those roles as much in solo queue. So you don't know what these players play after they've moved around. So I mean, unless they've played it in
Oh
ranked
my
recently, they're
gosh!
like, well, I don't know what to ban. That
What
is a
the?
beefy team.
That is a very beefy team.
Wait, am I
Okay.
getting the Yasuo ADC? Like actually?
Yeah, it is the. I think it's
Wow.
Yasuo and Tom Kench. I'm almost certain. Which
Yeah,
leaves
I mean,
Jarvan,
so I was
jungle,
wrong that
or
Tom Kinch
top.
is still in the bot lane, but yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
That's interesting because now Purple will have to get some sort of tank killer. I mean, there's just so many beefy players. Like
Mm.
Yone, I was just about to say Yone
Yon.
is such a good pick here because he's a tank shredder. He can survive these beefy characters and just lifesteal all the way back up. Meanwhile, kind of taking the damage. This is going to be a game. This is going to be
I'm
a game.
excited. I'm
First
so excited.
beggar
Well, and
of a
also
game.
look at the side of Brown. You have J4 Ornn and Orianna. Those are three really good opportunities to get some really big knockups for Yasuo. I mean,
Yeah.
especially the Ornn and the Orianna can get multiple people knocked up. So that's a team fight team if I've ever seen one. Oh my lord.
Yeah, this is gonna be like once everyone hits 6, this is gonna be team fight after team fight after team fight, And I think honestly, who are you going for this game? Are you
No
thinking
idea.
Brown is
No
gonna
idea.
take it?
Nope.
No idea.
Nope. They have like almost like the same idea of just. This is basically just like.
This is
being,
Clash of the Titans right here.
Yeah, this is like Hulk versus the Abomination. Like it's just two giant green people just smashing each other, and then like finally Hulk wins barely. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what other way to put it. Like who's the Hulk and who's the Abomination in this scenario?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, maybe just based on standings, I would go with purple at the moment. They do have their bot lane on two champions that they're very comfortable with, so they could still win through bot. Caitlyn, very aggressive laner. So I mean, we got two melee people in the bot lane. So like against a Caitlyn
Right.
Yumi who can just keep pressing right click and auto attacking you. So I mean they're gonna get a lead early, but then after like you said, like post 6, like I don't know what's gonna happen. Like
Yeah, I mean,
unless they
it
have like,
really
just a big lead and get some kills.
I mean, I think there's going to be a little bit of early aggression because there's a Jarvan, there's a Diana. Diana obviously doesn't do well against Jarvan in the 1v1, so I feel like Laser Snipe has to look for, ganks around the map or hit 6 as soon as possible. Otherwise, though, I think it really just comes down to these team fights. I don't think there's any one sort of side that looks better right now, like you said. So, yeah, this is hard for me, too. I'm
gonna sub one more
Man.
person so that we can get the hype train going.
Hell yeah. Let's go. Ryleon. Giving out the subs and Primus as well.
Yeah, I got to. Once I see the hype train, you got to do it.
Hell yeah, that is true.
Bam, bam,
There we
bam.
go.
Congratulations to a day 2 free. And then also, wow, Ryan giving out a ton of subs.
This
I'm the
is
real
his
Gerber,
game.
baby. Great name. Gave the Awesome. Or Gav the Awesome. Adamson? What is it with these names, guys? Spin Lau. Hammered, who's obviously in this. Tilted Love, Matcha getting his, he's usually the one giving out subs. TSM Candy, Sir Hubs, 2023, and UGA or Yugadog 04. Everyone, congrats on your subs. It's going out everywhere. I feel like we're on Oprah tonight.
Woohoo! This is the game to watch, guys. This is game 1, and I'm excited to see this game. Just looking at these comps, I'm like, I really don't know who's gonna win this.
Yeah. Let's go snacks. Let's do it. Let's go.
Okay, Riley, another sub to Ace Realness.
Ace Realness.
Nice.
Congrats on your sub. Yeah.
Man,
not my favorite matchup.
Oh my gosh, this is a spicy one. And you know, it's interesting because I had initially thought that Brown was gonna do like the basic ADC and support because Spare. I mean, we haven't seen Spare in ADC role before, and he doesn't like on his OPGG. He doesn't have a lot of ADCs played. So I was like, well, I mean, I don't expect it to be any fancy smancy stuff, but this is game 1, and they're already pulled out. Maybe their strongest.
The thing is, Brown has to 2-0. They have to win both games no matter what. So like, they might as well get the spicy stuff out of the way.
True.
So I like it. Level 5
my
hype
gosh,
train.
Sir Hubs.
Love to see it.
Let's go. 10 gifted subs.
Oh wow.
It's Kenshi.
Yeah, level 5 hype train.
MK the Ghost. Spaz, who's in this. Starlight. The LZY King. Rain Juice. Desi does. Hey, there's Desi. Off meta jungle. Q. And Sir Flight. Nice. All on Brown. See, we got some Brown fans in the chat. We got some Purple fans in the chat. This is gonna be a good game 1. I'm feeling it.
And then we have some very unbiased casters.
Very unbiased.
We don't know who we want to win. This is tough.
Being a coach for Purple, like, they have a strong comp, but Brown also has a strong comp, so hey, man, I really don't know.
Yeah, this is a toss-up. I think it's gonna be the first 2 team fights is really gonna win it.
Yeah.
I'm hoping Brown at least like respects the early aggression that can come from Purple. I mean, at least for the bot lane, and yeah, I mean. It's gonna be a wet noodle fight top lane. It's gonna be untouched. Like nothing's gonna happen there the entire game.
For sure.
I mean, at the same time, Volps needs to respect Orianna. Level 1, level 2, and at that level 3, like, she outranges you. She can get a good combo. I mean, once Yone obviously hits 6 and hits some items, he's gonna be pretty scary. But I think up until that point, Hammered has the advantage. But I mean, at the same time, like with Yuumi support, the one thing I don't like is like you don't have any ability to roam. Like you're not gonna see a Yuumi roam across the river. Like Yuumi's never gonna follow you. Like this Tom Kench, like Daddy can just leave and just let Yasuo farm in their tower, because he can throw that window up and then just catch a wave. So I mean, I'm hoping that Daddy just like leaves lane just a crap ton to take care of this Yone, and so he doesn't get ahead. Because I think if the Yone gets ahead as well as the Caitlyn, it's going to be a huge problem for Brown. So I want to see Daddy just like dip and just go mid lane or.
For sure. I mean,
obviously they switched his W and ultimates. Now he can't like go across the map with his teleport or whatever. But I mean, he can at least still get behind a Yone if he overextends.
That's true.
From the brush. So, hoping to see that. Some early aggression from Brown.
I also hope to see, like, if Rylaion and Mustard Cat do see Daddy gone, you have to pressure. I mean, even with that wind wall, that's a 20-second cooldown. So, that's a small window of opportunity to kind of pressure on a tower, maybe get plates. And with that, I'm going to run a ad and also go to a break. So when we come back, we'll have a game 1 of this exciting matchup of brown versus purple. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah, I'll be grabbing some fruit snacks.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. Seconds until minions spawn.
Yeah, I mean, Rylion's probably the biggest proponent of invades, so I wouldn't be surprised if they go for it. I mean, they're all in the bot lane right now. I don't know what Brown is pinging, but I don't think Purple's gonna find anyone though, unless they, you know, commit and go all the way to the red buff. It looks like they're committing. I mean, they're leaving the Malphite. So this is actually going to be a numbers advantage for Brown, and they don't know this. Ornn is slowly going towards the top lane, but
Uh-oh. Oh my gosh, they had to
they
have
don't.
seen
They have
Volps.
no idea.
They had to have seen Volps, and Purple do not see them. Oh my gosh.
Purple has no idea.
Purple has no idea. Nobody's doing anything, though. I just realized nobody heard my introduction, but welcome back. It's Brown versus Purple. And they are going to meet them. Oh, Spare is getting chunked out. He has to flash away immediately. Oh, wow. And Laser and Rylian and Mustard Cat are still there pressuring this red. I like this. Oh, okay, okay, it looks like they'll be able to pick up the red buff. Maybe the smite comes through. Rich and Smart is going to take that one. Laser Snipe getting so low. And that was a spicy level 1. Did get a flash, but didn't take the buff.
So I guess we could say it's an
wait a
even
minute.
trade. Oh, Rich and Smart level 2 though.
Laser just had the flash right there. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so Brown coming out ahead now.
Yeah.
And Laser Snipe's gonna be super behind and down a flash. So, I mean, tough for him for sure.
Yeah, that was definitely interesting. But look at Spare. He's so low right now. He already had to expend his potion. And that's a lot of pressure already coming out for Purple's bottom lane.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of figured this would be tough for Spare no matter what. I mean, especially early.
True.
But now he doesn't. Now he doesn't even have a flash, so he's gonna play extra safe now, which is.
Yeah.
I mean, for Yasuo, you want to scale up anyway, so it's not the end of the world. But it's just gonna be giving a lot more tools to Ryline for him to carry, and he's been playing super consistent lately. So I mean, that's not the person you want to just give a lead for free.
Yeah, you can't underestimate him. He has been doing relatively well in the previous games compared to now, and you already see this. I mean, look how far they've pushed up. They're taking advantage of that range, and even the coordination from the top side. We saw Malphite and Diana kind of meet up, make sure that Jarvan didn't steal the red, and now Jarvan is up there. Can't get a gank.
And before this wave, Yasuo had one CS. You got 1 minion out of, I believe, the first 2 waves. That's tough. I mean, he's, since it's crashed into tower, he's been able to scavenge some more. With Caitlyn, it's just, with the Qs, it's really easy to shove.
For sure.
But it's pushing back, so we'll see what Rylan's able to get from this.
I'm surprised that Rich and Smart is up on the top side for so long. I'm not sure if he is just waiting for Manny to appear, or if Manny is just, patiently waiting for the wave to come to him. It does look like that, as Volp's putting the pressure on Hammered here.
Yeah, I mean, he's giving a lot of opportunity for Laser Snipe to catch up, but that is a Jarvan behind the own.
Good flash from Volps, though. And the bot lane does continue. Oh, Laser Snipe looking for the steal, possibly, or the kill here. Rich Smart does knock up Laser Sniped, and I guess nobody has Smite to get that.
They both have.
Till now.
They both had like 2 seconds on Smite.
Oh no, Volps might be in trouble. He has no flash this time around. Both flashes come in, and first blood goes over to Rich and Smart.
Yeah, that's just tough. I mean, Volps had a bit of the prio, before that Jarvan gank, but like after losing the flash, and then I believe he went in for another trade with Hammered and got chunked.
Yeah.
And Laser Sniped, they both didn't buy items, so they both only on that Ember Knife. So it's just Jarvan just being stronger than Diana early.
Yeah. I wonder if Laser Snipe was looking for the Smite though. He didn't have
Neither of them had it. They were both like a half a second away from getting their smites. So he was trying to get some damage off and maybe burst it down, but just wasn't able to get anything, not having really any items outside of that jungle item. So Manny trying to have a long trade.
I think Laser just needs to respect the Jarvan. You just can't 1v1 him, like I was saying, like pre-draft or pre-game, that you just can't 1v1 him as Diana. You have to give up some of these scuttles and make sure you're just farming to get to level 6, because that is where you affect their team the most.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the leads right now. For the side of Brown, like 35 CS to 20 CS in the mid lane on that Orianna and an assist. Coming back with a tier and a lost chapter. Orianna can now just sit in lane, for ages. Yon only having boots and a dagger. That's just rough. But on the other side of that coin, Ryline's up 20 CS in the bot lane. Hasn't even backed yet. So I mean, he can back for the Moon Quiver for sure.
Yeah, I mean, but look at how the wave state is right now. He has to try to push up in order for this to happen. But it looks like Volps Wants to make a play down here. He is level 6. He's going to get spotted out on a ward, though. And that is going to force Brown's bot lane to just back off a little bit, wait for him to leave. And good respect there from Spare and Daddy. Meanwhile,
yeah, I mean, I'm
look at
kind of
mid lane.
confused.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah.
Laser Snipe is getting the gank onto Hammer. Hammer is shockwaving 2 of them. Hammer getting really low. Laser Snipe picks up the kill, flashes away. Is it enough, though? Can Rich Smart get that one last Q or auto attack? It looks like he will. And that was a 1-for-1 trade.
I'm not
Meanwhile,
sure
Noble
if-
has bot lane pressure. I guess he teleported down here. Does pop the Ornhorn, but nothing comes of that. Wow.
Just both summoners for Rylion. So just two for 2 in summoners. Orn popping the teleport ignite.
Yeah.
So just a 2 for 2 trade in summoner items, but now they have a numbers advantage on the Drake. So they're just gonna take this for free while Manny with no TP is just gonna probably get some plates up top lane. But, I mean, Malphite's not the quickest person to take plates off a tower. So
Yeah, I wonder
probably
if
only
he
get
used
1 or
it.
maybe 2 plates.
Did he? I feel like he used TP on top side. No, right? So
Did.
that is the reason why he was not able to participate in that bottom fight. And good coordination from Brown. They know what they wanted. They wanted to get this drag, so they try to force summoners out of the bot lane, get Prio down there. And then we're able to successfully do that. So props to them.
That's
It
the
is
problem with
2-1.
being a color caster in a Silver League. Every time you try to explain what just happened, something else is already happening again.
Yep.
So, bloody game. I mean, only 3 kills, but there's been a lot of fights with no deaths as well. So,
Yeah, the level 1 prime
yeah.
example.
and yeah, that's spicy level 1. I mean, you can kind of see. I mean, Ryline is probably still one of the strongest members on this team right now, at least for purple. Diana getting the kill, but still been kind of behind in jungle camps compared to the Jarvan. So I think it's really gonna have to come down to, can Volps beat Hammered in the mid lane? Is he like those trades, like he can't miss any Qs, or else like Hammer's just gonna scale up like Orianna does, and then just gonna be a team fight menace.
Yeah, I feel like Brown does have the early edge, only by a few hundred gold, but already 1 objective up and quite a few plates now, or at least 1 plate now going over to Brown's side. I feel like they were trying to get this Rift Herald here, but looks like 3 members of Purple just forced them off completely.
Yeah, they're just not gonna take it. And they're still respecting Purple.
The
I mean, they're not
ultimate
super
from
ahead.
Yasuo does come through. Ryleon in some trouble here. Is ignited. Got the shield from the Yubi. Oh, misses the tornado by a hair, and they got out alive from that. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, he maybe could have flashed for the auto attack, but I mean, he's low enough that the tower would have just killed him. But you know, like you said, like once you hit 6, all bets are off. This could be a completely different game after that level 6 mark.
Yeah, once these team fights start rolling through, it might be a different game. As now it looks like 3 members of Purple grouping up on the top side of the map. They're trying to wait and see if Brown want to get this Rift Herald, or they're just gonna invade straight up. But it looks like they're not gonna find anything there.
Oh, they
are
weren't
gonna
able
go
to get.
Yeah,
They weren't
they
able to
weren't.
get him.
But now they get the Rift Herald.
Yeah, they did get vision on him recalling, so now they're just gonna take
okay.
the Herald. There's 3 members, so at least they're getting an objective in return. You know, when you typically see teams, you know, get both first Dragon and first Herald, that usually is a good sign that it's gonna be not as close of a game as they hope. Yeah, so I mean, because you want to get that pre-14 Herald so that you are able to get you know, that plate money from the Herald. Otherwise, it's not as effective later towards the game after 14 minutes. So we'll see where they put that on. Honestly, I would probably maybe try and get a bot lane and try and give some solo play gold to Rylion. Because at this point, he will probably be your strongest member towards the end of the game, or maybe put it on Volps That'd probably be the safer option, just a lot easier to get the Herald in that shorter lane. But I would try and get some solo gold on either the Yone or Caitlyn.
I feel like Volps would be a good, because he's playing Yone. Yone wants to get to his first item really quickly or as fast as possible. So that extra gold might help a lot. But he's struggling getting Cryo in that lane right now. So it might not be the most opportune moment to put that Herald there. But need to do it before the plates fall, for sure.
Yeah, so they got about 2 minutes before they drop that first Herald. So we'll see what setup we see from these teams in terms of lane state. I mean, outside of Manny, both mid and bot lane are being pushed in. Rylaion now having to be scared of the Yasuo ultimate, and Yasuo just being able to dive through minions. Caitlyn's not safe anymore. I mean, she doesn't have, Caitlyn doesn't have any escapes outside of her net. And Yuumi is not a CC, hard CC support that can tank or block any sort of dive. Right. As soon as Yasuo closes the distance, like, it's over.
I totally agree. And this Ocean Dragon is the next one up. Looks like Brown is eyeing it. They do have Prio in the bot lane, not so much in the mid lane. Orianna just did it back. Does have teleport up. But so does the top laners. So this might actually be our first 5v5, possibly. As looks like Purple might just give up this wave just to go get Prio onto Dragon. Bit of a risky play there, but we do see Manny backing.
Yeah, Laser does only have 40 seconds left on the Rift Herald. I would honestly drop it mid or bot just to force the team to answer, but
well,
yeah.
Looks like Yuumi just popped the book, and they just popped several members of Brown as Noble's in the middle of all of them. And the Unstoppable Force does get the rest. Richard Smart is the last one alive. And that was just a mop from Purple.
I mean, they just stacked all their CC.
Yeah.
Brown not able to single out any targets or any AoE.
I think that was a beautiful flash from Rylaion to get out of the CC from Daddy Pacific. And then the re-engage from Mustard Cat with the ultimate.
That Yuumi ult hit everyone.
Yeah. So good job on them. They actually won. I thought it was going to be a little bit more bloody. And it might be here.
Yeah,
and Hammered looking for the shockwave. Not going to get that. Did not.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe for what? For which?
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, no, we're both talking about different parts of the fight because there's so much that happened. It's so hard to talk about it. Because I mean, it was so quick too. What I thought was the Malphite ult for Manny was actually just the Orianna ball. Because then Manny uses the Malphite ultimate to, I believe, get hammered.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were you saying, Wookie?
I was only saying that Hammered was looking for that shockwave in the mid lane there because he didn't get to use it in the last fight, so they were trying to get something, but just didn't make it. And now Purple come out 1k ahead.
How the tables have turned, but I mean the great thing about Purple is like when you're fighting an Orianna, when you're fighting a Yasuo, you cannot group up. They were split.
Yeah.
I mean you can't hit Yuumi from while she's on top of Caitlyn. So they were split up. There was really not an opportunity for Hammer to get that Brown ult until it was too late. So
yeah,
just a rough outcome for them. I mean, it's still only a one, like you said, a 1K gold lead. With these teams, at a certain point, like items don't matter. It is who shoots first and who gets a better shot. Because I mean, these are just two huge team fight teams. Any ultimate in CC could make a difference, whether you have an item above someone or not. So, I think this is going to be a very extended game. I think it's going to be a long one. Yeah. I think they're just going to keep switching off who gets to win and who doesn't. So
who gets the team fight win, then it tosses to the other side, and then it just goes back and forth for like ever, right? As long as there's only one person remaining, I think the fights just will repeat itself. But we do have several gold leads going in the way of Purple right now, as looks like only Richard Smart is 2 kills on their team.
Yeah, I will say watching chat is great because there's so many fans on both sides.
Yeah.
It's like, go purple, go brown, hammered, pick it up. Like, I'm loving the support coming out from both teams. That's just making this game all the more fun.
Oh my gosh, Spare. Just quite a chunk of damage from that Caitlyn Q.
That's the thing, one combo from Caitlyn, you know, EQ, just annihilates you. I mean, because Yasuo's not a tanky champion.
For sure.
You gotta have the Tom Kench probably moved up more forward. If Caitlyn's able to do that, then I think Daddy's just not in a good position. Because I mean, the whole point of playing this Tom Kench is to be frontline.
Oh my gosh, as Ryleon does take out Spare right away, and stuff's happening in the top side, but directed camera wants to go back and forth. But yeah, Spare just had no chance there. That was quite unfortunate for him, as now they get pressure on Herald and this bottom lane tower. Not sure if they're gonna be. They might. Yeah, they probably will be able to take it here.
Yeah, I mean, that's a 3-0-2 Caitlyn, 30 CS up. I mean, I liked what they were doing, but, you know, Spare just had no health. I think that was very greedy. I think they should have just backed off. I mean, even if Ryline were, like, flash and try to get to the Yasuo, he could have eaten him, and they could have gotten out. But for them to try and... I mean, he had the good knock-up, and he got the Yasuo ult off. After the Yasuo ult goes off, it's like, well, you're trying to fight it. Caitlyn with a Yuumi that's just gonna heal and shield you through most of that. Like see, the Yuumi already has the Moonstone, so you're gonna have to get through even more healing than you did before. So I mean, I would have liked to see some Grievous Wounds from Spare.
Yeah.
Because when you're behind, that healing just does so much more. I know he doesn't have the luxury to do it.
Yeah, he really
Doesn't have
doesn't.
the gold to just throw it away.
Yasuo is kind of just like Yone, where you have to get to your first item in order to do damage. So that was just, yeah, like you said, pretty greedy. Even more greedy that he doesn't have the healing reduction. If he had his first item and the healing reduction, I feel like that would be a much more
that would have been
fair
totally
play.
fine.
Yeah. But just doing
he didn't
just
finish a
like
mythic.
That. Yeah.
They hadn't even finished their mythics, and both Caitlyn and Yuumi did. So like, it's just tough.
All right, now is another Mountain Dragon, and that is Mountain Soul. They are going to pop this Rift Herald here that they just took, and that's going to give them pressure onto this Dragon. We'll see another 5v5, it looks like, here, as Noble and Spare are on the opposite side, fighting 4 of them. There goes the Yasuo ultimate, but he's just dead, and so is Noble. Their team was split.
Yeah, that was some miscommunication coming from Brown. You could tell. I mean, 3 of them were still in the mid lane while 2 are trying to engage a fight. Like, that's just... You can't do that when Dragon's up, you know, in a close game like this.
Yeah, I mean,
now
Noble was in the middle of the pit.
Into the 3K. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh, man, what do I do? Do I just start the fight? I mean, the Ornhorn was popped, and the Yasuo Last Breath was popped, but, like, that just isn't enough. Like, you're playing a team where everything has to go at once, and they're just not doing it as efficiently as Purple is right now.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell that Purple just has... They have their team fight on lock. Like, their communication, you can tell, is there. It's doing great. I mean, you can just tell. Like, based on these fights, just the coordination is just impeccable. They're always at the same spot, trying to do the same thing at the same time. That's just what you want to see. Whereas Brown is obviously not at each other's level. I mean, you can tell 2-3 people are kind of going rogue and just trying to do their best, while others are just trying to play it safe, and you just can't do that.
For sure. And it looks like we have a lot of bot lane pressure here as Riley and Mustard Cat are pushed up. And Volps is still kind of struggling to keep Hammered out of lane here, but Laser Snipe is on the case here. Does hit a Q, but decides not to go in. Does have the Moonfall
I will
available.
say Ryline can't step out and get out of position, because now he has a 500 gold shutdown. If that goes on the wrong person, like the Yasuo, who can now buy, you know, another component that he couldn't before, like that's going to mean a lot. So, luckily he's got, you know, a healing cat on his back. So it's gonna be a lot harder to kill him than it normally would.
Yeah, I totally agree. As looks like Richard Smart, Daddy Pacific, and Spare are looking for some sort of combo here in the mid lane. On to Volps, Ryleon, and Mustard Cat, but nothing to be found. I feel like they're trying to get these angles, but I feel like there's just somebody telling Purple in their ears like, hey, don't step up too much. Don't step up too much. You're gonna get ganked or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the vision. I mean, Brown just put that sight ward in that brush, but before there was just red all over this river. And you know, vision from Purple. Brown does not have the same vision, and that's when it's the two team fight teams, and the team that wins is the one that shoots first. Whoever has the vision is gonna shoot first. They're gonna have the upper hand. So we're like right now, that's why Purple's winning as well. Like this vision, and the lack of vision from Brown is just making these fights so much easier.
Yeah, looks like Laser is going to start the fight here. Richard Smart does not hit the EQ combo, and that's ace in the hole for Ryleon. Unstoppable as Noble is next target here. I don't know if they have the chase. Laser Snipe wants to dive, but they're just going to opt to just take the wave and back off of this one. There is still two members of Brown on bot side. Oh, Mustard Cat actually steals the kill from Ryleon. Ooh,
Everyone
well,
gets an assist.
Everyone gets.
Now that's a shutdown on a Yumi too as well.
Yeah.
That's great. I mean 7-0 and 11 coming from the spot lane right now. Like they
Yeah.
are playing out of their minds.
And they're starting Baron. Oh my god.
Yeah, they killed the jungler, and they just killed the Ornn, who's now not able to TP. So if they just burn this down, even if Brown tried to fight it, it would be a 4v4 at most. But the thing is, yeah, like Spare has to answer this Yo in bot lane, brother v brother, so they just get to give it for free.
Yeah, I mean, both brothers are kind of not having any luck in the kills department, although Volps does have 6 assists, so I guess that feels pretty good. They both have mythics. Which brother wins, though, as Hammered and Daddy are looking for the 3v1 here. Volps now in trouble, does have Baron. Flashes away, Shockwave available, Fate Sealed pulled, and Hammered unfortunately did not get the Shockwave in time to interrupt that or grab him first.
Yeah, I mean, I hate when I see Yones having to use her ultimate for an escape, but I mean, you gotta do it. You can't just give away a free kill to a team that's trying to get back in the game. So, gotta do it, gotta burn the flash, but just sucks for Brown not able to finish it. But now there's a counter collapse coming from Purple. It looks like they're coming down. It looks like they're actually just grabbing Vision on this Dragon Pit. They will be on Soul Point if they take this drag. So if I were Brown, I would definitely fight for this Drake now. If they give up this Drake and potentially lose another team fight, there's literally no way to get back in the game. I think this is their chance.
Wow.
I mean, they're still down 5,000 gold. That is a good amount. But
just gave it up?
with this team, yeah, I mean, I would have fought for it, but I mean, Purple had Barons.
I mean, it's
they're
very
dealing
hard
with Baron
because
minions.
yeah, Baron minions, Baron empowered, ability power and attack damage. Like it's very hard to try to contest that. You could say like if they win a 5v5 fight, that it might work out, but like they're just so far behind at this point, and Purple are so far ahead that I don't think the team fight would work out for them. As Hammer forced to flash away. As the 5-0
that was almost a
Ryleon.
dead Hammered.
That was almost a dead Hammered.
Yeah, when your ADC turns into an assassin, that's when you know you've done goofed.
Yeah. Just a little bit unkillable, as well as Mustard Cat. Definitely a very, very strong, and you have to respect this bot lane. Ace in the hole, gonna chunk Hammer to below half health. Rich Smart popping the Yumi emotes. Very respectable. Volps actually might be able to start the fight here. Fate Sealed hits no one. But the Moonfall does hit Richard Smart, who's caught in the middle, and the Ornhorn as well. Not going to be able to kill anyone here in this fight, but Baron minions mean another tower going over the Purple.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem. There was no Yasuo or Orianna. They did not have any DPS, so like after all the abilities come out by Ornn and J4, and they weren't able to kill Volps. It's like, well, now we just kind of sit there and get shot at by Caitlyn. So, I mean, if they were able to burst out Volps, then I think they could have been able to survive this siege. But like now, it's a Caitlyn with Baron and two cannon minions now. So that's
I
gonna
just saw
be
the unstoppable force miss. Spare had to flash and heal out of that. Wow.
that fight still hurts. And what Manny's now at Frozen Gauntlet, Frozen Heart, like.
Oh my gosh.
Seal plays. He's like, "What's this tower?"
He does not care about Spare or the tower.
It's like my shoulder kind of itch. Is there something like going on? Like,
yeah, 007 full armor, which is actually probably the best play he could make. I mean, Orianna not able to find much damage onto the majority of Purple's team.
yeah, I mean, I don't think really anyone's been able to do anything outside of Rich and Smart, who's been, in his defense, been playing really well this game, but not able to save this game so far. I think he's really the only one. I mean, obviously only one. You know, he's 2-1. All the kills are on the J4, which is a bit problematic. Which I mean they hadn't planned on. Because he got those kills very early in the game.
Yeah.
But it's just now it's like, well, I kind of wish those kills were on someone else. Now
That's
that we're
true.
at this point, but
I mean, they've just been losing every single team fight that Purple has thrown at them. So I don't know if they have the means to try to come back. Do you think?
I mean, they have to get a pick now because and that's gonna be very difficult. Because I mean, look at the vision right now. Like, lots of red wards in the blue side jungle of Brown. Lots of vision in the river as well. So even if they try to make a play, they have to clear this vision. Otherwise, they're not gonna be able to catch someone out. Except for maybe Laser Snipe, if he doesn't take he takes the plant, so he's fine. But I think in instances like that where Laser Snipe was a little cut out, that's how you come back.
Yeah.
Now that they're so behind, they have to create these 5-4s. Otherwise, they're not.
Hammer is just getting ripped apart. Riley on a beautiful flash over the shockwave will take him apart.
Yeah, Rylion's playing out of his mind today.
He
is not
Rich
afraid
is
of
smart.
anything.
Oh my gosh, you're getting chunked under tower from a Caitlyn. That is not how you start a fight, and he has the back, and now there's another turret under siege. The brothers are 1v1ing though. Volps taking a beating. Fate Seal's gonna miss. Oh, the Q does hit, and that is the Q and auto as well. And now that Volps has covered his brother, they're gonna try to push for the mid turret here on the side of Purple.
Yeah, Wookie, that answers your question. So evidently Yon wins.
Evidently.
Yeah, which,
Yep.
I mean, to be fair, he had the Ignite, and Spare did not. So
Yep.
that may have played a bit, a little cheating a little bit, but we'll count it.
The disadvantage of being bot lane, yeah, so I guess.
I think it was good to at least try it, because they were getting a lot of pressure early. It's just every team fight did not go in their favor, and that's, where
true.
most of their how they fell behind.
Speaking of Volps, though, Volps might actually be the pick here, as he is currently in a 1v3. Manny's coming up, though. Not in time, as Volps does fall. Noble getting chunked by Ace in the hole. Manny has to flash out. Laser Snipe's going in. Pops the ultimate. Hammered has to flash away. And no kills for the side of Purple, so that is one pick. Manny not actually caring about anybody on their team. But unfortunately, he could not save Volps in that fight.
Yeah, I mean, I knew they were gonna get Volps. He was just super caught out.
Yeah.
Pretty over aggressive by him. I mean, they still secured the soul, so I think it was well worth it. I mean, with a J4, he can always, jump in the pit and potentially steal it. With the new jungle changes, like level doesn't matter as much. I believe they have the same smite damage now than before, but just keeping them off and then dies for it. And then, of course, they try to kill Manny, which, I mean,
Good luck with that.
Now he's got a Randuin's.
A
So,
Randuin's.
like,
Oh, man.
yeah, maybe get some MR in there, but I don't think he is because he bought another cloth pot. So
He's going
I
full
mean, his
armor.
E now does a shit ton of damage. So
Yep.
I'd still be worried about walking into Manny as well.
I'd be worried about walking into any of them as this Baron is shredded down. Noble now kind of slowed down in the middle of the team here, and is going to get Rylaion to be godlike. 7-0.
Yeah.
What a fantastic
I think all he had to
game.
do was throw like three auto attacks and he was dead. I'm pretty sure that was
Yeah.
mostly Rylaion.
Yep. As they're charging down mid with this newly acquired Baron. Fair enough, as this might be the end of the game here. Don't know
Yeah,
if
I don't
there's
see
much
them
that Brown
beating
can
the
do about it.
siege. I don't,
Oh
yeah, I
my
don't
God.
think so. I mean, Manny's now just a super minion. He can just tank tower. It doesn't even matter.
The tower's barely
It-
tickling him. Oh
yeah,
my
it's
gosh.
it's cute.
Now Hammer's tickling him because he has no MMR, but grand scheme of things, that doesn't matter when Rylaion just pokes him apart from the back.
Well, I mean, at the
line.
same time, like all these items still give health outside of Frozen Heart. So I mean, he's still beefy. He just doesn't have the MR.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. And yeah, I think Brown is just kind of letting them take this as now we start the team fight, but Daddy Pacific gets rooted. Shockwave goes out on the other side of the fight. Fate Seal's got to secure Hammer. Double kill going over to Manny. Noble falling right behind him, and Rich and Smart might be able to flash away and get to safety, but that's going to be the game going over to Purple.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was just clean by Purple. I mean, they weren't really making mistakes in the beginning. They were just putting more of their, or they're just making mistakes early, like in the jungle, especially with laser snipe. You know, they tried, you know, with that failed level 1 invade, dying a scuttle. So it was looking a little tough for them at first, but like I said, they were just gonna have a consistent, you know, easy bot lane. I mean, pushed in a little bit by the Yasuo, but it didn't die. Actually, Manny didn't die either. So there's only a total of 4 deaths on the side of Purple. 2, and both of them are, or all of them are on Laser and Volps. So, I mean, clear MVP from that game. Yeah. But, oh, just, yeah, Manny and Rylaion. I mean, Rylaion especially. Like, I mean, he was flashing into people with zero fear and getting away with it because he knew he could. And that's just, I find funny. I mean, don't give Manny Yumi, I guess, as well. I mean, I saw him landing like every one of those Qs, you know, whining around, still, you know, clapping them. So, clean play by Purple every team fight. I mean, that's what it came down to. That's how we said what would happen. Whoever wins the first couple team fights is gonna win the game, and that's what happened. Purple wins the first 2 team fights, and they get every objective after that. Which I just realized I didn't make a prediction, but I said it was gonna be Purple, so like, I'll pretend I got my gaps. Yeah. Insane. There were several close calls, especially Rylaion probably got down to what, like 5 HP, and then, you know, the heals from Yumi saved him. But and that was after, you know, burning, you know, TP and Ignite from Ornn. So clean game by them. I believe Brown has to clinch this to stay alive in playoffs, or at least 2-0 the next 2 weeks, I think. Trying to think of how many points they're at. I haven't seen the standings in a bit. Our stats team.
Oh, I was
having
muted.
a tough time since
Ha
the...
ha ha. Couldn't hear me.
Oh, I
yeah.
have stream muted. That's awkward.
That's okay.
Hey, Wookie, making
all I
me have to
said
solo
was,
this.
all I really said was a beautiful game from Rylaion and Mustard Cat.
Yeah.
They went deathless. I mean, you can't ask for anything more from a bot lane. I think my MVP vote has to go to Ryleon. He played fantastic. But yeah, they are going to not change sides, so they are sticking to blue side for Brown and red side for the side of purple. So I'm gonna get that in the chat there, and we'll go into the second game. What a good win! Do you think purple is able to 2-0 this, or is Brown gonna be able to come back? What changes? I know you were kind of briefly talking about this earlier, but what do you expect to see? You said maybe the Mustard Cat's Yumi has to go, possibly.
Possibly. I mean, they're already banning Rylines, so I don't think they'll ban the Caitlyn. I mean, Caitlyn was definitely able to stay alive a lot because of the Yumi, and just having Mustard Cat. You know, I'm sure it's second nature for him now. I think it's probably very possible that he just kind of like started playing a bunch of loud music and then like just shut his brain off and just played muscle memory Yumi.
True.
Maybe he even just like turned his monitor off and just played, blind. But
I mean, there was a very clutch ultimate from Mustard Cat during the first team fight. Remember when Rylon flashed back, and then the re-engage was just set purple up for victory. I think.
Yeah, pure muscle memory. He just immediately pressed R. He knew exactly when to. I think that's less on who to ban and more because it's not like the picks really did anything for purple. It was just how they played. So I think Brown first of all needs a mental reset and to work on their cohesiveness and just better team fighting because they got first Drake, so it's not like they weren't bad at getting objectives. I think the sole reason why they lost that game was because they lost those team fights. They were split a lot of the time. They didn't really focus any targets. They clumped up a little bit too much. Like, I mean, they just sat in a straight line for that Yumi ult. And you gotta be cognizant of where the Malphite is and where the Yumi is in retrospect to your team.
That's
like
true.
Obviously Yumi, you don't want to be in a straight line. Malphite, you don't want to be clumped up. So that's just the main thing they need to think about, and just like positioning, because they were all over the place in terms of positioning. I mean, I think the only person that was ever out for purple was Volps a few times, which was mostly just being caught out like outside of the team fight, and then Rylion just big dick energy. I'll do what I want. He was playing forward a lot. Which, I mean, like you said, he did have to flash out at one point. And then was saved, but I mean after he's like 6-0, it's like okay, you can maybe play a little bit forward. We'll allow it.
But yeah, game 2 draft has started. I did not update that. Hang on 1 second.
Same band so far.
Draft. This is the current draft as now on your screen. But yeah, pretty same bands, but
Malphite came out. Actually, they're scared of the Malphite. Interesting.
I would be too.
I don't think it was as impactful. Like at the at the point that they were losing the fights, I don't think Manny did a lot at the beginning. Obviously, he had some huge presence once he got a few items in. But they had already lost at that point, so I think I would have gotten rid of the Yumi because I mean that's how they kept Caitlyn alive so many times.
Leaving it up?
If Yasuo had gotten some kills early, I think that game would have been totally different. Because then that 2v2 that they had that was super greedy, it could have probably won that if Yasuo had a couple kills. So I'm just greedy overall at that point, and I think they just need. I mean, I don't know if they'll pick the Yumi again. And they probably will. It's up.
I mean, it is up.
I don't think the Malphite was the reason purple won.
I mean,
if they put Manny on anything else.
Yeah, they're not going to pick Yasuo first pick this time around. They realized, hey, maybe that was not the play. And Brand coming out first. Assuredly, probably a Brand support. I don't see that going mid. So already...
they just played Yasuo AD carry, so you never know.
I mean, that's true. But Brand, Brand as a mid laner is very, very difficult to pull off.
Yeah.
He usually has to use 2 abilities just to clear the wave. His W is not enough when you're building AP, and I feel like he has such a stronger presence down the bot lane. And they are going to take the Yumi first off for purple, so they might actually just run it back here. We'll have to see how Brown responds to this. I mean, if it is brand support, I don't think Yumi does too bad into it. Won't be a spreading of the dots coming out from Brand, so they are just gonna run it back. Caitlyn Yumi worked the first time. Can't see why it won't work again, but
I mean,
this does mean that Purple have to be a little bit afraid of picking tanks here because Brand late game. Oh my gosh.
yeah. I mean, I will say, if they pick like more of a poke AD carry, I think it'll be a little bit easier for them. Because I mean,
true.
with Yumi, if you don't have like big trades, like Caitlin's just gonna stay alive forever. Which I mean, burst from a Bonk, that'll also do it. Because that's the thing, like you have to have these really impactful trades against Caitlyn, otherwise, you know, and within 10 seconds, Ryan's just gonna be full health again. So, and that's what you know Yasuo and Tahm Kench had to do. But the thing is, for Yasuo and Tahm Kench to get that chunk and to get Ryan super low, they have to all in.
Yeah.
Which gives Ryan the opportunity to
Heal
you know,
up.
net away and then do his full combo and then heal up. So,
but yeah, lots of
I would like to
bursts
see it
coming out of Brown.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot.
So now
they-
Purple have to pick between picking tanks or picking just kind of out damaging the enemy team at this point. Brown has a lot of damage already.
I mean, the thing with picking tanks into you know single Bonk Kha'Zix, like those are champions that just want to go in and out. I like the Kindred pick. I was
Yes.
actually because they had banned it last draft. I was actually gonna say I would love to see a Kindred because for these champions to go in and out and try and kill you like super quickly, if you throw down a Kindred ult, they can't 100 to 0 you. They can 99 to 0 you or 100 to 1% you. But like the thing is like with Yumi and then like the Kindred heal after the ultimate is over. You can survive all these assassins while you know getting some return damage. So I like the Kindred pick. I think that was a good pickup.
For sure.
I mean, it's exactly what they needed. Because I mean, now you know, like you said, like at the beginning of the game, they're not gonna have items to out tank all this damage. Those first couple fights, like you have to have damage back because now you have to outburst them. I think.
Or survive them.
Or at least,
I think
survive
very
them
well.
in DPS.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, Kale was banned away. Definitely could have been a very, very power pick from Manny, but unfortunately he won't get that combo with Kindred, so they won't have the nice invulnerable unless they. Well, I mean, they already picked Yumi as their support. Taric would have been also an appropriate response, I think. But looks like, just banning out Kennen and Jinx away from Brown. Kennen, yeah, I could see maybe being a threat. You know, fully damage on the side of Brown if they were to pick that. But I wonder what they're going to blind here, as I feel like Kindred is going to be their mid laner. Volps has played a lot of Kindred mid.
Really?
Is very proficient. Yes, very proficient on him. But I could be wrong. I mean, maybe Laser Snipe has been practicing Kindred as well. It is a flex pick, so for their case. So I'm wondering who they're gonna blind here. Looks like it is going.
I was gonna say
lane.
if it's a potential of Kindred mid, they'll probably want to blind the top lane to leave that flex pick up. So now, I mean, it's like you're not really gonna try and counter a Scion. Probably just gonna put someone else tanky up there. So. I mean, Sion's just gonna sit there and be Sion. So I mean, there's not really like any counterplay that you can do. So they're just gonna pick. Which, oh my lord, this is like the biggest anti-tank team I've ever seen. Of let me just blow you up before you can get any items.
True, very true. And I mean, they've only picked one tank so far on the side of purple, and Vayne is actually kind of a rough matchup into Caitlyn. So I'm very curious.
Traditionally. My AD carry will like to just disagree with you. I forget who it was, but we picked Vayne both times into Caitlyn and won. So it's not fun, but it's not. I mean, with AD carry, I feel like nowadays it's not as big. Like counter picking with AD carries is more about supports counter picking.
That's fair.
I mean, you're still Vayne. Like you're not gonna he's not going to be playing a lot early as much. I mean, maybe with Brand, you know, a lot of poke.
Oh,
But
wow. The Amumu coming out from the side of purple. What do you
so
think of
it
that
is a
one?
Kindred mid. Yeah, I
Yep.
mean, or not. I guess they reworked his bandage shot. So now you can, you know, get 2 off. I think it's gonna be really hard for him though, trying to lock down a Vayne who can tumble, a Kha'Zix that can jump, a LeBlanc that can jump, and then I guess like grabbing a Darius isn't gonna do much. I mean, he's probably gonna be more of a bruiser now, so it's gonna be kind of hard for him to lock down any targets. I mean, I still like the pick. I mean, I like Mumu, and I like to see it more, but I think it's gonna be tough going into this matchup for Brown.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit tough, but you know, if we see the same amount of aggression coming out from Purple's bot lane, I feel like they have the ability to shut this Vayne and Brand down if they choose to do so. I mean, we saw it the first game, and I mean they're running it back. They're comfortable on the champions they just won with, so I do expect them to have a sort of a lead down the bot lane. As for the top side, I don't know. I mean, Darius into Sion, what do you think of that matchup? Like, I feel like Darius has a lot of pressure on Sion early on.
Yeah, as soon as Darius hits level 3, I mean, before Sion gets, you know, that Bramble Vest, like, Darius has a lot of damage early, so,
Yeah.
Manny will have to play safe, in the early game. I mean, Darius is one of the probably scariest, uh, top laners pre-6. Um, I wouldn't mess with him until Sion gets some items. I mean, once Sion, you know, has, you know, like, Frozen Gauntlet, and he's got Bramble, you know, even a Thorn Mail, like, Darius isn't going to be able to do as much. I mean, he still has the bleed, but it's not gonna matter late game. But in the early laning phase, absolutely. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, he's probably gonna go Gore Drinker on the Darius.
For
So
sure.
he's gonna actually have some decent damage and you know, sustain early. So it's gonna be tough for the Scion, and I think Darius is gonna win it. But I mean, what do you think about this bot lane though? So that's Yumi Caitlyn again. We've now switched it up. Instead of 2 melee champions, now it's 2 range champions.
Yeah, I mean, well, we haven't seen Spare play Vayne before, so I'm very curious. Vayne Brand, I feel like, is one of those, like, it's a hit or miss. You know, because Brand wants to CC them, and then Vayne wants to go in and kind of 3-shot whoever was CC'd. But it's going to be hard to do that because Caitlyn has so much of a range advantage over Vayne. Can net trap, you know, to dodge the W, dodge the Q from Brand. So I feel like it's very, very... I mean, like I said, Rylon and Mustardcat just played this combo. They're very comfortable, and I feel like they don't have to worry about Rich and Smart because Yumi just does so much healing that if they come in for a gank, they have, like, their vision was on point last game. So I expect them to have the same amount of vision, same amount of pressure. We'll see. I mean, if Vayne can get the late game, though, that's a lot of damage going on to Manny and Laser Sniped.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I threw a couple
game.
hundred gaps at a Brown just because I want to see a game 3.
True.
I'm just putting the caster curse on purple. Like, yeah, like Brown's gonna win. Like, I told you all you would win this last game, so I'm gonna caster curse them. Brown's probably gonna be pissed. But
so you haven't actually seen Volp's Kindred mid, have you? Because I believe he played it.
I think he actually played it against us.
I think
I'm trying to remember.
It was against you guys.
But that was week 1. I've drank and slept a lot since then, so I don't exactly remember a lot from that series. I believe I do remember Manny playing Kale and losing on that, but
well, it's definitely been banned out twice, so they definitely don't want to see that coming out from Manny. But yeah, Volps has a lot of experience on Kindred mid, and you know he used to actually play at jungle before he transitioned it into mid lane.
That makes sense.
I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's not the best thing in the world, but he's comfortable on it. So I expect to see some sort of like hesitancy from Hammered going into this matchup, because I'm sure no LeBlanc has ever tried to face a Kindred in mid lane. I don't know who wins that matchup per se, But it's going to be an interesting one. I definitely want to look at the mid lane the most. We know that Volp's kind of struggled getting kills and a gold lead early on in the second game, or the first game rather. But I feel like he's on much more of a comfortable champion now. And like I said, I think I'm going to have to give this to Purple again. I didn't really have a choice on the first game, but I think I'm dead set on my boys.
Yeah, LeBlanc, I feel like wins early until Kindred can get some marks. I will say, what always upsets me with teams when they play Kindred is when they don't prioritize the marks, because that 4 mark like difference is like huge on Kindred. Like that's your power spike, is hitting that 4th mark. And when teams are not fighting over that scuttle, like if the scuttle's the mark, or like, you know, if it's like Raptors or something like that, and the mid lane and the jungle aren't, I guess, looking around for that, that always frustrates me. I believe it was I would say it was like a Golden Guardians game where like they picked Kindred, and someone like actually like stole scuttle like right next to the Kindred, like smited it. I like just like what are you doing? Like, and it was for the 4th mark too. Like every Kindred main still has PTSD from that moment. So I hope they at least prioritize that.
I feel like Laser Snipe and Volps have kind of practiced this combo before, because in order to pull it off, I feel like you have to be very good communication. You have to have very good communication with your jungler. But I feel like a Mumu, just as a champion, doesn't really have that priority when it comes to the jungle. We know that Kha'Zix is kind of, you know, if he ever meets a Mumu, he could probably win very early on in that 1v1.
Absolutely.
But tossing the LeBlanc into the 2v2, I feel like Brown still wins that 2v2, even with Volps on Kindred. So I don't know. We'll have to see how these rotations
They just can't
work.
meet him in the jungle. They just got to get it first, you know? That's you know, they have to prioritize it, otherwise they just give it up. Because that's the thing, the other team can see where the mark's going, so like they could be the first. You know, Brown could make this mid Kindred not as strong by just simply getting to every mark. So
that's true, and we'll have to see. I am going to run a quick ad break, and we'll take a break here on the casting desk as well. But make sure you put in your predictions, as those are live. Game 2, is Brown going to mount a comeback, or is Purple going to take away the 2-0? Don't go anywhere. And welcome back to Game 2 of this exciting series of Purple versus Brown. We have entered the Rift, and just like before, no crazy shenanigans, but can't count that out for Purple, as they did invade last game. But it looks like they're just going to take it easy for this one.
Yeah, late invade did not go as planned, so I think they're going to play it safe this time. They learned their lesson. Brown was ready for them. I guess a deep-ish ward going out from Laser Snipe, but yeah, I mean, just going to recall for the Oracle ends on both sides. Sure, I mean, yeah, standard start. Probably going to be starting blue side for the Mumu, red side for the Kazakhs, so nothing crazy, but we will see if Brown can come back. I believe their playoffs are on the line here, or at least, you know, going to be a lot harder if they don't. Yeah.
Yeah, the spot, it just becomes that much more harder. Don't know the standings as of right now, but I'm sure that Brown is in the lower side of it, as Purple, Green, and I think maybe a few others are already kind of locked in for this playoff series.
I believe once Red plays the game from their bye week, they should be locked. I believe they've mostly 2-0'd.
I mean,
so,
their game is happening. Their best of 3 is happening right now against Gray, I believe, and then they face, or is it not Brown?
Yeah, red and green. We play
Red and
Friday.
Green on Friday, and then there's a game today actually.
That's probably I think that's their bye week game.
That is their bye week game. So we'll see if they won or lost. Don't know that information right now. They might be still in it, as this is Game 2 of this series, though, and I feel like Purple has what it takes to pull it off. Let's look at the summoner spells this time around. So we have Volps going Exhaust, and then we have Mustard Cat also going Exhaust with Heal, and Rylian with Barrier. I think that's a fair summoner spell advantage for them. Knowing that there's like 2 assassins plus like a lot of range damage coming out from Brown, I think the double exhaust is warranted in this situation.
Yeah, and you're gonna want the barrier against, you know, a LeBlanc Kha'Zix. Like, you know, I like the summer spells. I mean, Noble going Ghost. I mean, that's not unheard of. I would say in solo queue, going Ghost Flash. You know, if you're trying to get ahead, but I mean, maybe not against the Scion, because I mean, I've just pushed him into tower. He's just gonna sit in a tower and farm, and then he's gonna buy items and be tanky, or just gank you.
Yeah, look at this. Laser sniped, already coming up to the top lane. Noble does not get knocked up, will get stunned. Oh my gosh, where's the heal? He does have to flash and goes. 2 flashes come out. His first blood going into laser snipe. Part of Manny is gonna go undead. Rich Smart does hop away, but yeah, that was first blood going over to Laser Snipe. I don't know if that was worth. I mean, Darius having a kill does get a machine already.
Did he get first blood? I could have sworn Noble killed Manny before Laser killed
We can take
Noble.
a look at
Another
the
fight going
gold.
mid lane.
Oh, Hammered is actually chunked down due to Laser and Volps' damage. I mean, you know, at least Brown got the mark, got the scuttle that was marked for Volps, but Hammered having a flash there just kind of makes up for it a little bit. Makes it easier for Volps to manage the lane. Exhaust was expended as well, but Volps is looking for more damage as kind of expends a trade there. Spare, on the other hand, is alone down here. I'm not sure if they're getting vision. Yeah, it looks like they got both scuttles on Brown.
Yeah, I think Purple is just, they're feeling pretty good about that, you know, in last game, that they're like, oh, we can play aggressive. We got this. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah.
Not realizing that it is reset. So they're not getting punished for their aggression just yet, but I think they possibly could. One gank from the Kazakhs can change that very quickly. Noble did get the kill, and I believe the...
Oh, Laser Snipes down here, bottom lane. Daddy Pacific getting rooted under the trap, and Laser Snipe picks up another kill. Would have loved to see that go over to Caitlyn. But it is what it is. That is another kill in Laser. He's going to be a very tanky boy very early on.
Yeah, I mean, I will say Laser's literally just ganked 3 lanes in a row. We're not even at 6 minutes. So having the gold on him isn't the worst because he's actually using it to his advantage.
Hold on 1 second there. Volps is in trouble. Will get singled out here. Does not have flash, and that is a kill going over to Rich and Smart. Volps kind of just walked into the bush. Didn't expect the Kha'Zix there.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't either. I mean, there was no scuttle. I mean, Dragon was up, so I mean, maybe he was getting vision on Dragon, but yeah, I wouldn't have expected a Kha'Zix in that brush. I also don't know why he was in that brush. I mean,
yeah,
you have a LeBlanc and Kha'Zix missing. I mean, he didn't put a ward down, but maybe he was going to. But they already had the scuttle down, I believe, in the river, or at least they have a ward in the river on Dragon. So I think both people were in places they didn't think they would be. So just sucks to be Volps this game for now.
Manny is getting chunked so heavily under tower. The ultimate from Noble comes out already. Noxie and Guillotine not going to actually get the kill though.
Yeah, and they're both now out of mana. Probably just gonna back. I mean, like I said, until Scion gets, that Bramble gets items, it's gonna be tough for him. Especially, a Darius with Sheen, going full damage. So, those on hits are gonna hurt. I mean, because especially those W's, especially from Darius, are gonna hurt a lot. So, until he gets those items, he's gonna be having a tough time. That move is probably gonna come up more.
Looks like they're aiming for the scuttle now, though, as it is Volp's next mark. He is going to successfully get out a ward this time, but it looks like all of the bot lane is coming up to secure this one. Can they get it, though? Yep, that is a mark.
He did get it.
Daddy has to flash. He did get it. I saw the animation.
I believe, so, even for jungle minions, as long as you get, I guess, like, an assist, or, as long as you touch it and someone else kills it, you still get credit.
Yeah, for sure. And, fortunately, Laser was the one to actually pick that up, but,
yeah, he smited it at 7 HP and then he auto-attacked it, so, able to lock it down. Maybe panic smited a little bit.
Man, he's definitely on the back end of this top tower here, but he's doing relatively well. I mean, he only died once. He's got a bit of a CS difference, and Noble's doing a great job of pressuring this as he is right now. Gets the pull. It does Darius things, a lot of damage. Ryleon though might be in a 1v or 2v4 with Mustard Cat. He's gonna get pushed back, it looks like, towards the turret.
Yeah,
a little bit
flash
of a misplay.
Out and use the barrier.
Yep, and use the barrier just to get away from the 4-man engage. And a Cloud Drake is first up.
Yeah, nothing was burned from Brown to try and get Rylion. So they still have all of their ultimates outside of Vayne ultimate for this drag fight if they choose to test this. They don't have vision on this though. They have no idea. I think Rich is just going to try and... I mean, maybe he could plant in and then jump out, but just going to give it up. They don't have any vision.
Yep, no vision, no prio. I mean, bot lane was pushed in, and mid lane is sitting in the middle with the wave, so they just didn't have the prio they needed for that one. And, this dragon is actually going to help them out a lot. So they have such important ultimates: the Amumu ultimate, the Kindred ultimate, the Yuumi ultimate, even the Scion ultimate, just for that engage and lockdown there. Looks like we're going to go into a pause. Not sure why.
Wi-Fi issues, I believe internet issues.
Okay.
Which I feel that my internet is absolute dog shit. So I've had a game pause for me several times, having to reset the router. So feel for them, but. How do you feel? I mean, this game's is still super even. I mean, there's 100 gold difference, and then a Cloud Drake for the side of purple, which, I mean, arguably one of the weaker Drakes. So, not really that big of a lead.
Not the huge lead like an Infernal, but I do agree with you. This game is really even, a lot calmer than last game. I feel.
Yeah, because I mean,
besides the few
at 6
mistakes.
minutes last game, like there was
Yeah.
like
There's
10
4
kills on the board.
Yeah, there's a lot of kills on the board, and this is definitely a different game. Hopefully, Noble is able to come back to us though, as he was the one just disconnected there.
Yeah, I mean,
Probably restarting
instead
the
of
router.
two, yeah, it's not two, right in your face team find comps now. Now it's front to back from the side of purple and a pick comp from brown. So
Yeah.
now they have different objectives, which I'm sure are why it's a little slower. Whereas when you have two just balls to the wall teams, that's all they're gonna do. They're just gonna fight the whole time. Whereas like now, brown is trying to single out targets, and then purple's just trying to play safe, get objectives, scale to the end game. Get that late game kindred, get that late game. I will say it's
Yeah.
going to be more in purple's favor, at least in terms of, I think, itemization, because they can still just build damage. The only
Yeah.
person on brown that could potentially build armor is Darius.
Is Darius.
So,
right.
but that's the thing. I think I would have rather see maybe another tank in the support role, because I mean you have plenty of damage already with Bane, Kha'Zix, LeBlanc. I don't think the brand is necessary. I think maybe having another frontline would be better, because if they had a frontline, they could just build armor. Like Yumi's not going to do magic damage. I mean, I will say it's obviously MR items aren't as strong as armor items, so like they're not as gold efficient, but okay, so he's loading back up. Noble is, but now it's just tougher to itemize against purple, because I mean you're not gonna put armor on a LeBlanc. Like I mean, yes, you can build Azonias, but like you need the brand like.
It's because stacking armor like against pretty much all AD team besides Yumi and Amumu is like, because they have no AP threat. They have no burst mage or artillery mage or any kind of mage that does a lot of AP damage. So I do question the Darius pick a little bit, because I don't even think they knew that Volps was going mid with his Kindred. That probably threw them a little bit
off.
As
well, yeah.
They thought it was going to be jungle. They didn't expect Laser Snipe to actually be the last pick, and they decided to go with Amumu. I mean, that's fair. I think Diana was banned out in the first phase, so Amumu, pretty good pick. I think wanting to lock down all these assassins that are trying to get in your face and provide a little bit more peel for the team, as Noble can build a lot of armor.
Yeah, I mean he's going so far. He's only got the Sheen and Longsword. So if they were to fight right now, they have zero frontline, absolutely zero. Like they have to pick someone out. There's no way they can just run into a Cyan Amumu, especially a Fed Amumu, who's already got that Bomby Cinder. So like they can't just run at this team now. They have to kill, I think, Ryline first. Because I mean they can force the Kindred ultimate, but which, are you frozen?
Yeah. This is gonna be a spectator.
That's right. After the pause
delay. It's a little bit of a buffer because they went into a pause. Don't worry, your internet or computer is not freezing, and we're back in it already. And I think I totally have to agree.
I was forgetting about that.
Oh my gosh, Volps almost getting chunked out right after this pause. He's doing relatively well. He did die once to Kha'Zix, but he's keeping up in CS with Hammered so far.
I would have expected a stronger lead from Hammered, at least in CS, just being able to bully the Kindred. But I mean, Volp's able to stay in there.
Yeah, I do think that LeBlanc definitely has some sort of early burst damage against Kindred, but once Kindred just starts, kind of getting towards his first item, I think is where you really have to be cautious. And like you said, the marks, I think he only has one mark so far. Correct me if I'm wrong. He has two. Okay.
But no, you're right. Each one. They actually weren't able to get that first one. So during that Darius gank, they weren't able to get that first one.
Oh, Laser Snipe actually just Curse of the Sad Mummy onto Hammered, who gets third shot. 2 flashes over the wall come out from Volps, and lasered to secure.
Was the
that
LeBlanc
kill.
marked? So the LeBlanc was marked. So now we're halfway to 4 marks for the Kindred.
Yep. And looks like Herald is the next objective here, as most of the members of Brown have backed off.
I love that
yeah.
Kindred passive. It reminds me of adoration stacks for Draven. It's like, yeah, Draven only got 1 kill, but he got so much from that 1 kill.
Gonna have to cut you off. Laser snipe. Is it a 2v2? Yuumi ultimate does go out, and the Scion does meet up with then a beautiful ultimate and charge in. That's 2 kills. And the Herald going over to purple.
Yeah, I mean, they knew the Scion was there. I mean, I assume they knew he had ultimate. And I believe they had vision on Vulpes as well. So, I mean, I think they just expected to burst down the Amumu. I think they thought that with the isolation he would just die, but he's got the bombies and now the plated steel caps. Like, you can't really just burst down this Amumu.
Yeah. One thing to note, you did say that Yuumi would not be the one roaming around, but look at how much Mustard Cat has affected the entire map. She has not been with Rylan for a good minute or 2 now.
Well, it's because they heard me.
They heard you.
They heard me the first game, and they're like, well, I can run. What do you mean? Yeah, they just like to rub it in my face. I mean, he's playing a cat. Cats are such
on the other
dicks.
hand,
Like, I mean,
Daddy Pacific has not left bot lane yet. They actually have not been able to pressure Ryleon off of the waves at all. He has been actually out farming Spare in the meantime. So I'm wondering if that's more of like just not enough aggression, or like what could that mean?
I mean, it's just Caitlyn and Yuumi. You're just gonna be consistent. Like it's probably one of the best laning duos, just in terms of I'm just gonna auto attack and get minions. I mean, every time you get the crit, every 5th auto, you can throw it at the vein. Other than that, you just have to hit minions. Like,
And
you don't have to do anything.
It looks like they're doing something here, as Hammer is just locked down. An auto attack from Ryleon is going to pick that one up. TP coming in from Manny. Does get knocked into the wall by the Condemn. And that is a 1-for-0, and Herald is now popped down the bot lane. Just so much gold. Go over to this bot lane once again.
Yeah, I would maybe try to give some solo gold to Rylion, but I think they just also just want to burn it down. And Dragon is spawning soon as well. So they're going to have Dragon Prowl. They already have pretty good vision in this bot side.
Rich and Smart just got chunked from Vulpes right there. Yeah, that's a nasty Kindred already. Still on 3 marks, I assume, but putting out the damage. And I think Brown just underestimated like where they were gonna put this Kindred, as now the second Drake also going over to purple. No steal coming out from Daddy Pacific. This is just going in purple's favor again. I have to ask, like, how do Brown actually play this one out? You said they were a pick comp, but they have not gotten any picks really.
I will say, so right now I can tell they're trying to go for the mark, or at least they were trying to go for the mark. Catching out Kindred, if Vulpes gets more greedy or more confident, and he goes for a deep mark like that, then you could possibly pick him out. That is one avenue. Especially if he's trying to get that 4th mark, he's gonna greed for it. Just kidding. I forgot he already has the 4th mark. I thought he was on 3. But
where did he
yeah,
get that
so
one
Kindred's
from?
now at the... I don't know. Probably another Scuttle. I'm assuming that we just didn't see, because he didn't get that red buff. So he's had 4th mark for a bit now. He also might have gotten it from a kill bot lane. That was probably it. We probably just missed the animation when someone died. Like we said earlier, he just needs the assist. He doesn't need the actual kill to get credit for the mark. But they're trying top lane.
they're trying to kill Manny. He's pretty tanky now. Does have a Frostfire. But that's not enough, as the mixed damage between the two top lane and mid lane of Brown are actually going to take him out. He's doing a lot of return damage on that undead side, but yeah, no wards mean that's going to get pinged out, and I think Manny's a little bit upset about that one.
Yeah, and I like how Noble gave the kill over to Hammered. Well, Bonk still hasn't bought the Mythic yet, so Hammered wanting to get a little bit more gold and get more ahead.
Volps looking for an exhaust here. Laser Snipe is going to Curse of the Sad Money, both of them. Noble flashes forward and dies immediately after that. Volps also flashing for a double kill. Oh my gosh. He's
and maybe he plays mid Kindred every now and then.
Maybe just a little bit every now and then, as Hammered the next target. Hammered has to flash away. Volps is just doing so much damage right now.
Yeah, like I said, just the jump from 3 marks to 4 marks is ridiculous. Just that extra range and crit is it's a bit nutty. Especially when you got an Amumu throwing down a bunch of CC and you're just free to auto attack. You know, and with the Gale Force as well, that just hurts so much.
Yeah.
From any of the Sheen too, I just realized. So, yeah, all his auto attacks hurt a lot.
Yeah, and you
I'm curious to see how much damage
on the Kha'Zix. Like that was 2 autos that, you know, when he flashed over, 2 autos killed him at like a quarter HP. And I mean, oh. Okay, Laser Snipe looking for some sort of tower dive onto them. He might be caught out here, as Spare and Daddy have now found him. He is going to get stunned up. He's not tanky enough. Does flash away. Is burning alive. As Ryleon is caught in the middle of 3 of them, and that was a little bit of an overstep. Coming out for Ryleon. They will pick up the shutdown that was on him.
It's not over yet, though.
Oh, it's not over yet. Laser Sniped in a 2v1 against Hammered. And meanwhile, on Herald, another fight starting, but Noble looks to be the loser in that one. And Herald going over to Purple. Can Laser Snipe get away with Mustard Cat? Looks like they are. They do have the speed. As this would be an opportune time to try to get Prio over this Drake, I think. But Purple have control of the top side, as Daddy Pacific stepped a little bit too much forward. Curse of the Sad Mummy is not going to hit, though, as a beautiful timed flash from Daddy Pacific will take that one. Hammer now getting chased, getting a lot of damage onto it. Rich is Smart kind of just walked up into their faces.
This
there.
Yumikyu's actually hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, even going Moonstone, like, that... One more of those in LeBlanc would be dead.
Yeah.
Hammered is still waiting on his first mythic. They like to cast curse. So LeBlanc did build armor very early. Bought that cloth pot right after the Lost Chapter. So
yeah, I don't know if that's
they hear me talking and they have to prove me wrong. So whatever.
You did throw a little bit of points over to Brown, but is it a curse as Daddy Pacific getting knocked up? Team's not
I
with it,
didn't
but Manny's
predict,
there.
actually, I didn't put points down the first game, so I technically can't cast a curse if I didn't put gaps on the line.
That's true, but you certainly did this game, so...
Yeah, that's kind of my thing.
But yeah, Ryleon with Mustard Cat and Laser Snipe here. Nice flash, but Spare did get caught out. Stun going over to Ryleon as Manny has joined the fight. Knocked up on Brand. Hammered very low, still alive. Spare gets a kill, but that's a huge Scion right now. He's just going to clean up the fight. He doesn't even care about the turret. What HP? Those Yumikyus will not land. Volps now here.
Volps does have ultimate though, so also you can sneeze on that tower and it'll die. So they're gonna try and chase that LeBlanc. Very slippery though. Hammering on LeBlanc, I mean.
Okay, the Gale Force does
connect.
connect.
Over. Oh no! He tried to juke and he pressed W. Oh. he would have been out, I think. I mean, he at least could have died to tower in the base, but still confused on his thought process there. I guess he may have thought they just stopped chasing.
Yeah. He
But
might have
they
thought
did
that.
have the ward in the river, but I don't know if that's
Yeah.
actually, I don't know if it's close enough to the pink. It's getting canceled out, but
But I mean, there was so
Yeah.
many other people on purple over on the other side of that, so I feel like just doing that anyways is probably tragic, as Laser Snipe is going to pull out Curse of the Satin Mummy and pop the blast code so he can't get away. He's taking no damage from Noble. Actually, no, never mind. The Q does connect, and Noble is
I
getting
was gonna
away.
say
Ace in the
round should press
hole!
R.
Nope. Ace in the hole does not get enough. The Triumph is there to save Noble, and that is a pick that you're talking about. Shutdown will go over to Noble.
Yeah, I mean obviously that was a 1v1, so I mean it's not really a team decision for that one. I mean it's still great, but kill going to your Darius maybe not the best place.
Manny is actually getting into a 2v1. Will get away with the flash though. Ryleon and Mustardcat now going to provide a gang of their own as Manny's going back in. He gets the kill onto Spare, and Daddy Pacific is just going to get run down. The net trap will connect. That Q will not, as Mustard is going to steal the kill away from Ryleon. Figured that, hey, you missed both attacks there. You're not going to get this one.
Yeah, like I said, muscle memory. Master Cash is like, oh, I'm pretty sure I need to ult here. He just woke up from his nap.
Yeah.
His
2-0
nap.
and 7 on the cat. This is yeah. I feel like Brown needed to respect the Yumi a little bit more during the ban phase, but regardless, Richard Smart is just getting out jungled by Volps here, and it's so tragic.
I mean, it's a 6-1 Kindred, and
6-1
you're 2 levels
Kindred.
up.
How many marks? He just got one.
I believe
That should be
6.
6
7.
marks.
Oh my
7
lord.
marks.
So
He's crushing it.
that's the second, I believe the second tier of the passive. So it's your first 4, and then you get like what is it, like attack speed and
Attack speed,
range and crit, I think.
Something along those lines.
I believe crit. Yeah, and then every 3 after that. So he just got that second tier. I believe there's only. I think it can go exponentially, but like.
Yeah, for sure.
He's already absolutely huge right now.
He is definitely huge, and Manny's just splitting this top side turret here. They have to send Noble to respond. Dragon's in a minute. I'm wondering why they actually decided to give up this tower. They were opting for a team fight, but Manny is now the target of 4 members of Brown. The ultimate does come through, but good response from Hammer to stop that. Flash from Noble. I mean, on the other side of the map, something's happening. I can't see it right now, but Manny actually turns the 2v1 and trades for his own life as Noble just 1v1ing the undead Scion here. But we didn't get to see Volps get another kill. I wonder if it was a marked target. Looks like he does have a mark.
No, but he just got a he got a marked
He just
blue,
got that
so
one.
now he's at 8.
Now he's now at 8.
And now they just have drag priority, so I don't
They
really
have
agree
soul.
with that. Like, yeah, why are they trying to kill like a 2 defensive item Scion when you have no damage? Like, I mean, the Darius isn't gonna do as much. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, the LeBlanc had no health and
at
also
this
only has
point-
1 item.
Yeah, at this point, you can't kill Scion with no Leandries, no Tank Shred, without the Vayne, right? And, oh my goodness, Volps just absolutely 3 shots Rich Smart in his own jungle. That is a
He's
very
playing out of his
effective-
mind.
I believe that was another mark of his, if I'm not mistaken. Putting him at 9 marks total
9.
in a 25-minute
So one
game.
more, and it'll be at that 3rd tier. That is at 25 minutes.
Yeah,
that is unheard
insane
of.
amount.
And
As,
do you see what's marked next now, Wookie?
yeah, the
The
Baron.
Baron.
They're going straight
Oh,
for
to
it.
give him a 10th mark and the Baron, like I'm sorry, that's GG. Like they already have soul.
Yeah.
This is over.
Oh man.
I'm glad I didn't put too many points on Brown. Like I'm sorry. Like it's back it up. It's over.
Yeah, they're just giving
no.
this one away for free. Spare is farming down on the bot side. Still not enough, I think. To
No, I mean
end this one out.
he's still down 30 CS. There's no
Yeah.
way farming up on Vayne is going to get you anywhere close to where you need to be.
And now Manny is
And you
going to
haven't-
respond to that. I don't even know if Spare can 1v1 Manny at this point.
I don't think anyone can kill Volps at this point. I mean, he's got
Yeah.
Kindred Ultimate, and I mean, just like as an analogy, like Brown's got water guns and he's got a bazooka. Like, there's no way
Yeah.
that they can kill him before he kills them. Because even if they like put 3 people on him, he's just gonna ultimate and then get them down to like 2 health. And then as soon as the passive goes off and he gets health again, he's just gonna immediately kill you and Gale Force away. So
That's true.
I don't see any world where they kill Volps. I mean, because they're sending 2. They're trying to send LeBlanc and Kha'Zix, and they're trying to catch him out. But I mean,
Oh.
2 auto attacks and Hammer's at half HP.
Yeah, looks like we might have a bit of a sticky situation. Manny is now in a 1v4. His team is coming to back him up, though. Spare, the Curse of the Sad Mummy does hit 3. Unfortunately, it did hit the clone, but yeah, Volps is just doing so much damage. Riley on the backside picks up another kill on Hammered. Spare is the only one left alive.
Yeah, I mean, I
As,
do agree if
Richmart
this
gets away.
wasn't a 10,000 or 8,000 gold lead and soul, Mountain Soul for this team, I think Vayne would be the win con, like chat said. But what's his Vayne gonna do now? Like,
Yeah,
Spare can't. I mean, he got like Zion to 75% HP. Do you know what Purple was doing in that time? Killing 3 members.
Yeah.
So like, there's just no way. Like, wrap it up. Let's talk about tomorrow. Let's talk about Worlds. I'm sorry, Brown. Like, this
yeah,
is a
Baron
formality at this point.
pushing into the bottom side of the map here. Yeah, I mean, just the draft, I think, went kind of wrong for the side of Brown, as there's no peel for Vayne. She's not able to do much in these situations.
No.
There's no tank to just soak up the damage. Noble is on Darius, but Darius is not a true tank, not like
Yeah,
Sion
and he
is.
just has Sunderer and
Yeah.
Sterix. Like, that's not. It's just health and damage. Like, you're not really getting much out of that other than maybe outlasting a little bit of damage.
Yeah, there's no armor
Maybe.
except for plated steel caps. Literally no armor besides that, and you know, Mustard taking tower a little bit. Oh, they're gonna shut down Mustard Cat, but is that enough? Volps picks up another kill. Laser Snipe is out of mana, and just the damage coming out from Volps. He's gonna pick up a triple kill.
Is he gonna get a Penta? Is he gonna grief for it? Are they gonna give it to him?
Doesn't look like they're gonna go for it, as yeah, sure, you picked the Mustard Cat. Oh, Volps might actually be able to. Noble getting extremely low. That's a quadra kill. No, it's stolen away from
Rylaion,
Rylaion.
steals it.
And that is gonna be game
two really
2.
clean. Yeah, 2 really
Yeah.
clean 2-0s.
That is incredible gameplay coming out from Purple. Oh my.
Absolutely. I mean, we gotta talk about it. I don't know. MVP's tough for me because first game it was
Yeah.
clearly Rylaion and Laser. Second game definitely Volps. I mean, obviously, like Rylaion and Mustard were having a tough time in the bot lane. Not nearly as successful as they were in the first game. Laser was playing out his mind too. I mean, within the first 5 minutes, he ganked every lane. Successfully, I believe, once. But still getting advantages every time he was anywhere on the map.
That's true.
I think Rich and Smart played his jungle really well, and like, you know, he did his pathing very well, but it didn't really matter. Laser was just gonna, and Volps just killed your entire team.
Yeah. This is definitely a tough one. I am gonna throw up. You got 3 minutes to pull up your MVP for the night. This is a hard one. Like you said, you know, bot lane crushed it. I think Laser Snipe did an excellent job just putting pressure. I mean, we thought he would lose that 1v1 matchup with Kha'Zix versus the Amumu, but he ended up just getting 2 kills, and then that just put his team ahead. And it's like, I mean, what better gameplay? I mean, he was ganking around the clock, putting pressure on the lanes, getting more CS than the Kha'Zix early on, and you know, Manny doing such a terrific job, I say, on the Scion, especially. I mean, coming in for that Herald play with the ultimate. Oh, that was the 2-man knock up there was great.
Yeah, he's just playing the unkillable tanks this series, and it definitely worked. Because they put all their faith into Volps and Ryline. I mean, for a good reason. I mean, they came out with 2 decisive wins. They're playing consistent. I gave my MVP to Volps simply because we don't need to see a caster MVP lobby with Ryline. And then Laser Sniped, I think.
Man, this is hard. I don't know who to
good,
vote.
But I think just Volps just. I don't know, because Laser did set up a lot of Volps early kills, and it was all over the map. So I think there's definitely
he
some
played
reasons
phenomenal
to
the
pick
second
Laser.
game.
I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it to chat. I think it's one of them.
Well, we do have 3 votes currently over to Mustard Cat. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. What do you mean?
Cat,
He was taking
yeah.
catnaps the whole time. How can he be? How can he be MVP? I kid though. I know Mustard will hate me for that. But, you still have some time. So for everyone, there's 22 people in that are viewing, and I only see 6, 8, 9 people have voted. So
I just don't know
everyone
who to
else,
vote
please
for
make
here.
sure you throw your votes. Yeah, I mean, I don't either. I'm gonna leave it up to the crowd.
Man, like all of
I
them
personally
did
voted
so
for
well.
Volps.
Okay.
I mean, 22,000 damage in 28 minutes on Kindred, like that is insane.
Yeah, that was quite insane. I mean, he didn't do so hot the first game, but he came back with the 1v1 against his, the Yasuo brother. So,
right.
I mean, that's saying something. Man.
I'm going off recency bias.
Why does my own team have to make it so hard for me to vote?
Yeah, I will say Yumi
now
only
has
died once.
Yeah.
The entire series.
The entire series. Oh man, and the ultimates. Oh man. Yeah, I'm gonna go for Mustard Cat. I'm gonna make the scales
hey,
a little bit more.
told them to ban the Yumi. I said it. They didn't. Well, the one time they don't listen to me and talk shit, like whatever. And it is Mustard Cat, so if you want to pull him in, we will have our MVP's chat.
I will do that right now. Oop. Hello, Mustard.
Hello.
What is up, my friend?
Anxious wreck. We were just talking about that. How are you?
Good. How does it feel being the one death Yumi?
I don't. It's disappointing. That's one death too many.
Well, I mean, it was you got kind of caught out there, but I think that was a little bit warranted. You were trying to save your teammates at the end of that second game, so this is a really
story of my life.
I'm always trying to save them. I have to do everything myself. Yeah, have you actually played Yumi in any of the other series, or has it always been banned?
I was actually telling them earlier that this is my first time playing Yumi, and like we thought after the first game they would learn, just ban the
I
crap
thought they
out of
would.
it. And then they just didn't, and we're like, well, okay then. Sure.
Yeah, I mean there were several fights. It looked like they just kind of like lined up in a straight line for you to just press R. So unfortunate for them, but going in, did y'all plan on playing Ash Yumi or Caitlyn Yumi? Was that ever gonna be your plan, or did you just expect those both to get banned out?
Well, we were planning on Riley on getting banned out in general. We figured like, okay, we kind of thought that it was either Kate or Ash or both, and if it was both, that we would work around it. And we originally just weren't planning on playing Yumi in general because it gets banned 24/7. But then they just like let her go, and not to like call Laser, but he was saying yesterday like, I give you permission for once to play an enchanter because like you'll just wreck, like it's fine. And so yeah, no, so we were just kind of like Yumi. Caitlin's also really good with Yumi. Sure, let's go that. So we weren't sure what we were doing. We were just kind of gonna go based off of what they were gonna ban.
How thrown off were you from the Yasuo Tom Kench volley?
Kind of. I know that there was talk about it, but like I just wasn't expect them to actually do it. And like I I don't know what it is with Yasuo. No matter what, I just lose against him. I cannot play against him. And so I told Riley, and I'm like, listen, buddy, we're gonna either completely die to him or we're just gonna stomp him. And honestly, if as long as we survive lane, we should be good. Like the team can just handle it. So we like, as you could probably tell at the beginning, we just kind of like stayed back and was like, you do your thing, Yasuo, but like we're gonna come after you when it's our time. Like,
Yeah.
and then he ended up going 0-5, so it worked out.
Yeah, definitely worked out. We did see like sort of the post 6 kind of stay back, let him not get an ultimate off on you guys. But yeah, going into game 2, did you guys feel like you had the better comp because you picked the same characters once again? Was that like planned? Like if they leave it up, we're just gonna take it again, or was that like, oh, they left it up, let's just do it again?
We were expecting them to ban Caitlyn or Yumi or both, and they just didn't. So we were gonna we were planning like either Morgana or Lulu, and then like, Kaisa or Selma. We were gonna plan it out, and then they just didn't ban either of us. So we're like, why change something that's not broken? Like,
That's true.
so we just ended up running it back, and it worked again. And it was the
Yeah.
same thing this round, where it's like, that's a brand, like. Brand is gonna protect Vayne, even though it's a Caitlyn versus a Vayne. So we were like, just survive. Our goal in this lane was to survive, so Brand doesn't pop off and one-shot our whole team. So that's what Ryleon and I's goal was this game. So.
Mustard. So I'm pretty sure, especially after looking at the standings earlier this week. So y'all have basically locked playoffs. Have y'all like realized that or talked about that, or like kind of like do y'all as a team have like a forward thinking at the moment? Like, okay, so we win today. Like, what are we gonna do, and how are we gonna prepare for playoffs? Or are you just kind of flying the seat of your pants, taking it week by week?
We've been kind of taking it week by week. Like every single time we kind of look at the team we're playing against, and we don't want to like stress ourselves too much and just focus on one thing at a time. So that's kind of our approach so far.
Right.
So I think now we're gonna start talking about it. But as of up till now, no, not one word has been mentioned.
Yeah, well, congratulations, you've locked playoffs. So
are you scared? Are you
2
scared
weeks
of us
left. No. We 2-0'd you first week. What do you mean?
Yeah, wait. It's gonna make it so much better when we stomp you, squash you like the bug you are.
I definitely think you guys
good.
have definitely improved since then. Just looking at just strictly looking at Ryleon's gameplay, I think has been probably my number one. Like, you have improved so much during the course of this season so far. So definitely good job to you guys on the win tonight. It was a clean 2-0.
It's funny you actually say that. We talk about it every single week, or like every time we're together. We're like, Rana, you've been like killing it. Like, I straight up will own that I did not deserve this MVP. I was Yumi. I just sit on people. Like, I did not deserve this, but like, okay.
I mean, from what I saw, you landed pretty much every Q and had, I'd say, a majority of your ultimates, except for I think like one where you got like Ornn under tower at the Nexus. Like, okay, darn, like you didn't need to use that ultimate anyways. But yeah, I'd say a majority of your ultimates were like a huge impact in team fights.
Yeah, especially in that first game. I think the first team fight, which me and Primus were all hyping up because we expected that game to be like, whoever wins the first team fight kind of wins the entire game, and that's exactly what happened. When Ryleon had a flashback and then you responded with the ultimate to re-engage, that set the pace of the game right there and then. So well deserved, I think.
Thank you.
I think they got like 3 kills in like 2 seconds, and it's like, oh, whoa, like we were not ready.
Yeah.
I also want to quickly mention I was told to like shit on Wookie a little bit, so like take notes, buddy.
Well, I clearly had the shit on you this game for your stupendous ultimates and thrilling Yumi gameplay. So boring. I don't know how you do that, but
I mean, it's so hard to like you and move my mouse, man. Like,
I know,
I'm sweating.
right? Like, ugh, it's just. Did you sleep at all during that? Did you just get up and get a coffee once in a while? Just be on Ryleon. He just had to auto attack and do stuff. Like, he just.
Not this game,
You
but
definitely
it's
have the
been
opportunity.
not this game, but I have done it before. I just like answered the door and talked to someone at my door. Like,
Yep, that is a classic Yumi player.
Oh my God,
Well,
classic
watch out,
Yumi.
other teams. You gotta ban Yumi. Like, I think it's kind of solidified this
or don't.
performance today.
Hey, that's what
Or
we
don't.
did. We banned Yumi. So,
Yeah. So I think it's definitely a threat, and well done on the MVP for tonight, Mustard Cat. And that is all for today from us at the caster desk. We do have another game tomorrow and Friday. Tomorrow is going to be Aqua, which is Inting Geniuses versus Black Queen's Gambit at 9 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss it. As another game in the Silver League. We're getting close to the end here, guys. So, yeah. Any other last words, Mustard Cat or Primus?
I mean, also watch the
out.
game Friday.
Yeah. Watch the game Friday. That is actually going to be green, which is your boy Primus over here. Versus
Yeah,
red.
oh, it's green and red. It's Christmas colors. So
Christmas colors.
Yeah, don't
So
watch
definitely
that.
come out for that one. That's at 9:30 Eastern.
Yeah.
So don't miss that one as well. But yeah, that's it. So, Mustard? Sorry.
I was just saying, mark your calendar.
Mark your calendar. Yes, definitely. And tomorrow's game actually will be Primus again casting with Riley on this time.
That's gonna be fun.
And then on Friday it's going to be Gitano and Riley on as well. So definitely tune in to those, and we'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.